Hey, this is Ish, and today I want to talk to you about how to kill worry or anxious thoughts. So, these types of emotions tend to occur when you are uncertain of an expected outcome. So, you've taken some action and you are waiting to hear back from a certain thing, or you're nervous about a scenario and the different outcomes that come from it. And what tends to happen is that you ruminate over different scenarios, getting further stuck in your head. So, I'm going to be talking to you about some solutions to counteract worry and anxious thoughts. So the first is to take action. And I think nowadays people, especially in the self-help community, it's all about talking about your problems and analyzing it and getting your friends' input. And they replay these emotions and scenarios, but they don't take action on it. And you'll notice that when you do take forward movement in any direction towards the thing that is worrying you, your mind tends to quieten. And I think that there's something about the flow state that really helps this. So a flow state is when you are taking on a task, you're taking action towards a particular task where the level of difficulty is just within your range compared to the skills that you present. So when you are taking any kind of action that shuts off your mind, you're completely engaged with all your senses. You'll notice that you don't have these worrisome thoughts. In particular, in taking some action, I recommend taking physical action, such as doing any kind of martial arts, especially ones that include sparring, or you can do meditation, where you're just constantly bringing your attention back to one point over and over again. And this also makes your scattered thoughts slowly start to subside, and you're just focusing on one point. Or you can do something intense like rock climbing or anything that gets you to a place where you're completely focused and mindful of whatever it is that you're doing. And in these previous examples, if you're doing martial arts and you're worried about your thoughts are going to get hit in the face, or if you do meditation and you start to wander, you're going to lose that focus that you bring. And if in rock climbing, if you're thinking about some text someone sent to you and you're not paying attention, you'll fall off that that rock, right? So all these things train you to be completely in the moment and get out of your head into the world around you. And the second, advice related to this is to tackle your problem head on. So you'll notice that not only when you do this that you feel happier just in general, you feel satisfied, but in addition, you expand your feeling of control, because what worrisome and anxious thoughts indicate is that you're not in control and you feel powerless. And one way to overcome that is to expand the circle of control that you have. And this makes you feel more powerful because you know that you can take action and meet the demands of whatever it is that you're focusing on. The next piece of advice is to have multiple options, and this also kills worry because this reduces the importance that is ascribed to that particular thing that you're focusing on. So, for example, if you're applying for a job and you're just really nervous on hearing back from them, this is because you've put all your eggs in one basket and you're really anxious and nervous to hear back from this one particular company. Now, on the other hand, if you have been applying to 5 or 6 different jobs, and at that point you're not really nervous to hear back from that one particular job because you have those other options lined up. And this can apply to anything in general. Say, with friendships, if you just have that one friend and you made plans on Friday night, you're always constantly, even subconsciously, aware that nervous that if he's going to flake or not, or she's going to flake or not show up, and then you have nothing to do. But if you have a group of friends that you can hang out with, it's no big deal. You won't even give it that much thought because you know that, okay, if this person cancels, I can always talk to my other friends. So just having multiple options will kill the worry and anxiety that you build because, again, it reduces that importance that you have for that particular topic. And then the next piece of advice is to do some kind of meditation. I already touched upon that, but specifically a grounding type of meditation where you bring your attention downwards. So one thing you'll notice that if you try to picture a nervous or worrisome state, you can kind of get a feeling sense of where the emotion is coming from or where the energy is coming from. So typically it comes from your chest and head area. So you might be moving your hands a lot or darting your eyes in a frantic manner. And this is because your energy is stuck up in your chest area. Perhaps you're breathing very shallowly or you're constantly stuck in your mind. So the practice of grounding allows you to bring that energy downwards where you feel more centered. And a couple ways to do this is to breathe lower into your belly as you're talking, as you're doing different activities. The next is to feel the ground, so the contact of the ground. So you can feel your knees against the ground if you're sitting on a cushion, or if you're sitting in a chair or standing, you can feel your feet firmly planted against the ground and feel like you're rooted to the earth beneath you. And this is another way to feel grounded. It provides that sense of stability, which is the opposite of nervous and grounding and scattered energy, and brings you back to focus. So again, just as a recap, a couple ways to handle these emotions of, anxious feelings and worrisome activities is to take action on your goals and get into a flow state where you're completely in your body and you're not focusing in your head because the activity doesn't permit it. And then you could also have multiple options. You can have grounding activities where you root your energy more downwards. And then there are obviously other factors that I can talk about, such as physical exercise, which will reduce your stress levels. Different teas you can drink, which will reduce cortisol levels in your body, making you feel very relaxed. Yoga. There's a lot of things, other things, but hopefully you take these few principles in mind, and the next time you are feeling these emotions, start to take these principles in mind and take action towards that. Hope this helps.